Hey everyone, welcome back. So many of you have been asking about the Pleiades Cluster 2.0 and whether it could really support human life.
Well, get ready, because we're going on a deep dive.
Yeah. We're talking about 7 unique stars, all born from one ancient star, each with their own planets and, possibilities.
And some pretty wild stories, too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so should we start with Ansharia?
Sure, that's the oldest one, right? Born from the heart of the original star.
Right, and crazy hot. Like way too hot for us.
Yeah, but think about it. We only really know about life on Earth. But what about life as we don't know it? Like, remember those extremophiles?
Oh yeah, the ones that live in like boiling acid or whatever.
Exactly. So maybe on Ansharia, there's life that's just as tough or even, well, more fantastical.
You mean like those phoenixes they say live on the closest planet?
Yeah. Or the dragons on that third planet. I mean, who knows, right? Maybe these mythical creatures are just like super evolved extremophiles.
Whoa, that is mind-blowing. And wait, there are other planets in Ansharia too, right?
Yeah, tons. Filled with even more draconic races. Like, imagine all the different forms they could take.
That's crazy. Okay, well, let's jump to Tilveria then. Total opposite, right? It's got that planet Terra that's basically Earth 2.0.
Yeah, but just because it looks like Earth doesn't mean it's exactly the same. Even tiny differences could change everything.
True, true. But it's still cool to think about, right? Like, what if humanity could actually live there someday?
Definitely. And it's right next to Gardelia, too, so maybe there's even some connection between them.
Gardelia, the star of gardens? So many plants and animals, and that planet Zelansia sounds amazing. Maybe they even traveled between the two stars, like interplanetary trade routes or something.
Haha, I like that. Intergalactic gardeners sharing their amazing plants. That'd be pretty awesome.
Right. Okay, but now let's talk about Asperia, where civilization in this cluster first began.
Home of the Asperians, a species that's like us in some ways, but so different in others.
Yeah, they have those solid-colored eyes
Right.
and no hair at all.
But the really wild part is their synesthesia, where their senses all mix together.
Whoa, so like they can taste colors or something?
Exactly. And they have crazy strong empathy, too. They can understand each other's emotions on a totally different level.
Wow. I wonder how that affects their society. Like, do they even have arguments?
That's a good question. Speaking of societies, we can't forget about Bergxania. They've got this super interesting thing going on with another species, the Hephaestians.
Yeah, the Hephaestus were actually created by the Bergxanians, right?
Yeah.
And now they've even built their own artificial planet, Hephaestus.
Think about that. One species creating another, and that species going on to build its own world. Talk about a complex relationship. What if our AI starts doing that?
Uh-oh, that's a bit scary.
Right.
Okay, so next up is Lamentia, which is a
Oy.
bit of a downer. It's called the graveyard of the cluster, right?
Yeah, it's super dark and mostly inhabited by these creatures called ghouls.
And everyone else uses it as like a big space cemetery.
Exactly. It shows that even across different species, there's this shared understanding of death and maybe even reverence for it. Makes you think about how different cultures view death,
Definitely makes you think. Okay, last stop, the big one, Mordukia.
The Silent Barricade literally surrounding the whole cluster. It's made from what was left of the original star's outer layers, and it's got this crazy ability to absorb sound.
Wait, seriously, like rocks and stuff just swallow up sound?
Yeah, like total silence within 50 kilometers. Imagine that. It must have shaped the evolution of every species there.
Whoa. Well, we've gone from burning hot stars with dragons to silent space graveyards.
Right. This cluster is like a crash course in all the possibilities of life out there.
And maybe even a glimpse into our future. Who knows? So to wrap things up, if you had to choose, which star in the Pleiades Cluster 2.0 would you want to visit? It's a tough question, but we'd love to hear your thoughts.
And think about the challenges you might face or the amazing discoveries you might make in such a diverse and incredible place.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride, everyone. Until next time.